There's a man in Ohio who owns 47 cars he's never driven. His garage is bigger than most people's houses. His electricity bill could fund a small vacation. And when his wife asked him to get rid of just one, he cried. That man didn't start out this way. Nobody does. Classic car collecting isn't something that happens to you all at once. It creeps. It starts so small and so innocent that by the time you realize what's happening, you're already 3 cars deep, justifying a fourth to yourself at 2 a.m. on a forum you didn't know existed 6 months ago. There are levels to this obsession, and the terrifying thing is, most people don't even know which level they're on until it's too late. Let's start at the very beginning. Level 1, the admirer. This person doesn't own a classic car. They don't plan to. But something happens. Maybe it's a car show in a parking lot they stumbled into on a Saturday, or a neighbor who rolls a '69 Mustang out of their driveway on a Sunday morning, and something inside them shifts, a feeling they can't quite name. It isn't just about the car. It's about the feeling the car carries with it. The era, the story, the sound of an engine that was built before computers told mechanics what was wrong.
Psychologically, this moment is pure nostalgia activation. Even for someone who's never owned that car, never lived in that decade, the brain manufactures a longing for something it perceives as more real, more raw, more meaningful than the present. The admirer saves photos on their phone. They watch restoration videos at night. They don't tell anyone because they know it sounds a little irrational, but the seed is planted. Then, one day, and there's always a day, someone says, you should just buy one. That's level 2, the first-time buyer. This person pulls the trigger. Maybe it's a '72 Chevelle with a little rust on the rocker panels. Maybe it's a '65 Ford Mustang that runs most of the time. Maybe it's a VW Bug that was only driven on weekends. They overpay. They always overpay. Not because they're foolish, but because the emotional value of that car to them in that moment is genuinely worth more than the market price. They aren't buying metal. They are buying a feeling.
The first drive is unlike anything they expected. The steering is heavy, there's no air conditioning, the radio gets 2 stations, and neither of them clearly. And it is, without question, the most alive they've felt behind a wheel in years. Here's where the psychology gets fascinating. The discomfort is part of the appeal. The brain registers the effort, the rawness, the analog nature of the experience, and labels it as authentic. Modern cars are too easy, too smooth, too disconnected. This one pushes back, and the driver loves it. Then the problems start, and this is where the levels begin to truly separate. Some people hit the first mechanical issue. The carburetor floods, a brake line goes soft, the temperature gauge climbs into the red, and they sell the car. That's fine. They had the experience. But a different kind of person encounters that same broken carburetor and feels something unexpected. Not frustration, curiosity. They want to understand it, fix it themselves. And the moment they do, the moment they hold a rebuilt part in their own hands and put it back into a machine that then starts and runs because of them, they are gone. Level 3 has them now. Level 3 is the hobbyist. The hobbyist has 1, maybe 2 cars. They spend weekends under the hood. They've joined a club, or at least found a community online. They've learned a language. Casting numbers, matching numbers, date codes, body tags. They speak it fluently now without realizing when they learned it. They go to shows, not just to display, but to study. Every car on that lot is a research opportunity. Every owner is a potential mentor or a source of information they don't yet have. The hobbyist is disciplined. They have a budget, they stick to it, mostly.
But something is happening underneath all of that discipline that they haven't fully acknowledged yet. The cars are becoming tied to their identity.
When someone compliments the car at a show, they don't just feel proud. They feel seen, recognized, validated in a way that their regular Tuesday to Friday life doesn't always offer. The car is no longer just a hobby. It is becoming a mirror. This is the psychological tipping point, because identity attachment changes the rules. Level 4 is the enthusiast, and this is where rationality begins its quiet exit. The enthusiast has a specialty now. Maybe it's all original, unrestored barn finds. Maybe it's high-performance muscle from a very specific 3-year window in the late 60s. Maybe it's pre-war European roadsters that require parts fabricated by hand because nothing else exists anymore. Whatever it is, they don't just like these cars. They have opinions about them. Strong ones. The kind that can derail a dinner conversation in under 4 minutes. Budgets at this level become theoretical documents. The enthusiast will tell you they have a budget. They will tell you they are being responsible. Then a 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda will appear on Bring a Trailer, and every version of responsible will suddenly seem very flexible. Because here's the thing about enthusiasts. They have convinced themselves, deeply and sincerely, that the right car is always an investment. The money isn't spent, it's repositioned. Their spouse may see this differently. And speaking of repositioning, here comes level 5, the collector. The collector doesn't just love cars, they curate them. There is a vision, a theme, a purpose to what they own. A collection, not an accumulation. They think about provenance. They think about documentation. They know the difference between a car that can be shown and a car that can win. And they care deeply about that distinction. The hunt itself has become a source of genuine pleasure. Finding the right car in the right configuration with the right history, it activates the same neural pathways as solving a puzzle, or winning a negotiation, or both at once. At this level, the garage is climate controlled. There are battery tenders on every car. There is a detailed spreadsheet, or a professional manager, or both. The collector's relationship with money has fundamentally transformed. They don't think about what a car costs. They think about what it's worth, what it will be worth, and what having it means. These are 3 completely different calculations. But there is one more level, and this one is harder to talk about. Level 6 is the obsessive. The obsessive is the man in Ohio with 47 cars. They have long since passed the point where the collection serves them. Now they serve the collection. They miss events for it. They lose sleep over it. They take calls about a potential acquisition during family dinners and feel no conflict about doing so. The cars are not a hobby, not an identity, not an investment. They are a compulsion. And like all compulsions, the feeling they're chasing, that perfect satisfaction, that sense of completion, stays just one car ahead of them. Always. Here's the uncomfortable truth that ties every single level together. These aren't really about cars. They never were. They're about control in a world that feels uncontrollable. They're about legacy, leaving something behind that will outlast you. They're about belonging, finding a tribe who understands a language most people don't speak. They're about time travel, touching a piece of a world that felt simpler, more honest, more worthy of preservation than what we've built since. The classic car isn't a machine. It's a response to being human. And whether you're saving photos on your phone right now, or you're that man in Ohio who can't stop, both of you are chasing the exact same thing. The only difference is how far down the road you've let yourself go. The real question isn't what level you're on. It's whether you're driving the obsession or whether it's been driving you all along.